morning. I will try to transform a 10-minute speech into a 2-minute address. Your Excellency Philippe Nlexi Hage Ngobe, President of the Republic of Namibia, Your Excellency President Obasanjo, honorable ministers, esteemed guests and participants, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to convey my heartfelt gratitude to the Africa Energy Chamber for extending the invitation to speak today at the Africa Energy Week. In 1998, I was privileged to visit Cape Town on the occasion of the 6th ministerial meeting of the International Energy Forum. Those were transformative times for South Africa as the nation stepped into the light from the shadows of apartheid, guided by the visionary leadership of the legendary late Nelson Mandela Madiba. 2 years later, in 2001, the Gas Exporting Countries Forum was established, an organization that continues to expand and prosper. And today, we proudly encompass 20 member countries across 4 continents, with Africa taking the lead with 8 member countries. Trying to reduce it to 2 minutes. Well, I think it's useful to remind ourselves that in 2002, I attended the World Summit on Sustainable Development held in Johannesburg, and that summit adopted the political declaration and ambitious plan of implementation. And the declaration emphasized that, quote, the deep fault line that divides human society between the rich and the poor, and the ever-increasing gap between the developed and developing worlds pose a major threat to global prosperity, security, and stability. And the sentiment remains just as relevant today as echoed by the UN SDG Summit held last month in New York. And the latest United Nations Sustainable Development Goals report sound a clear alarm, highlighting significant implementation gaps from the 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda. Another pivotal event soon to be hosted in Dubai is COP28, and this climate conference is expected to spotlight significant gaps in the implementation of the Paris Agreement, emphasizing yet again the unmet pledges. And for Africa, climate finance remains paramount. The commitment made by developed countries in Copenhagen in 2009 to provide $100 billion annually starting from 2020 remains unfulfilled. And this is also the case for the Adaptation Fund, technology transfer, and capacity building. So let us work collaboratively to ensure that COP28 becomes the climate conference where promises transform into tangible actions. And I extend an invitation to all of you to visit the GECF pavilion in the COP28 Blue Zone. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, energy is crucial to the 3 intertwined and mutually supportive pillars of sustainable development, economic growth, social progress, and environmental protection. And the last 4 years have further emphasized this significance. The convergence of the coronavirus pandemic, economic and financial stresses, and geopolitical shifts has propelled the energy trilemma to the forefront of policymakers' agendas. How to simultaneously ensure energy security, energy equity, and environmental sustainability. And this intricate balancing act is demanding for all nations, but it holds particular complexity here in Africa. According to the GECF Global Gas Outlook, global primary energy consumption is expected to rise by 22% in the period to 2050, underpinned by a global population increase of 1.7 billion, primarily in developing countries, and an expected doubling of the global economy. And achieving sustainable development goals requires a sustained and nuanced integration of diverse energy sources and technologies tailored to the unique circumstances, capabilities, and priorities of each country. Yet in this intricate tapestry of energy pathways, one prominent thread stands out: natural gas. Available, clean, flexible, and versatile natural gas emerged as a catalyst for an equitable energy transition. Natural gas presents a sustainable alternative to traditional fuels such as wood and dung, effectively mitigating the adverse impacts of indoor pollution and helping to combat deforestation. Moreover, natural gas not only improves air quality in densely populated urban areas, but also bolsters the resilience and the reliability of power grids that depend on intermittent and variable energy sources like solar and wind. Natural gas is the partner of renewables. Furthermore, natural gas plays an instrumental role in global food security, as it is a key component in fertilizers production. Ladies and gentlemen, for Africa, blessed with a young demographic and abundant natural resources, yet plagued by energy poverty, socio-economic development is an overriding priority. Africa's natural gas reserves are huge, exceeding 17 billion cubic meters. Natural gas resources are even higher, estimated to be around 45 billion cubic meters, and Africa remains an underexplored continent. However, converting gas reserves into a reliable supply requires substantial investments. And the notion that natural gas investment is incongruent with climate change mitigation is misguided. African nations, bearing no historical responsibility for climate change and contributing only a mere 3% to global greenhouse gas emissions, should not be penalized for using the natural resources to lift their people out of poverty. And we call upon international financial institutions, and notably the African Development Bank, to extend their support to natural gas development projects in Africa. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, when I visited the National Museum in Malabo last week, I learned an African proverb that says, if your dream is to move a mountain, then you must start by lifting stones today. So I wish you an enjoyable Africa Energy Week with productive stones lifting in the pursuit of our shared dream of a developed and prosperous Africa, the cradle of humanity. And thank you very much.